Can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, your dental practice, where you were at in your business before you started working with us? Just bring the audience up to speed.
Yeah. So I have a practice in Amherst, New Hampshire. And I'm a general dentist, but I'm a full service practice, basically doing from cleanings right up to a full mouth reconstruction, all on 4 implants and all that, everything. So that's what I do. And so prior to that, I have been trying to get consistent results, which is really hard, as you can tell. And I have not been able to find the perfect mix of marketing to get these patients consistently in. So I have been, searching for the longest time to figure out how to do this so that I don't have to worry about the marketing aspect of the practice. And so, yeah, it's been tough until I found value-driven ads. Yeah.
Got it. And before we dive into that, let's actually talk some numbers, because this is oftentimes something that's really transparent for our audience to hear. I mean, So clearly you had learned how to do all in 4 before finding us. You knew how to place implants. And it sounds like you were running, probably a semi-successful practice up until that point. You had general dentistry patients, you had the implant surgical patients, but what did the revenue look like in terms of monthly numbers around there?
Probably between 120 to 150 would be on an average, this is what I would run.
Got it. So 120 to 150 monthly revenue, doing well. That's actually better than most solo practice owners. Most people can't even break past the $83,000 per month mark. So you were basically more than $1 million per your business. Congrats. Give yourself a pat on the back there. That's hard to achieve by yourself. And then describe kind of the experiences you had with the other dental implant marketing companies you had tried in the past. What did that look like?
So I've tried a lot of different marketing companies. And the first thing that, before I sign up, they'll tell you, okay, it's going to be a long haul. Do not expect any result for the first 3 months. So I'm sitting there stretching my head. I'm supposed to pay you $4,000 to $5,000, and you're telling me you're going to get me nothing for 3 months. And I'm supposed to be okay for that. Yeah. And so given the fact that I don't know anything about marketing, so I go along, all right?
Yeah.
But 3 months later, we still got nothing. And I'm sitting, and some of them would get me a lot of leads.
Yep.
But they're all unqualified leads. They either don't call back, or they don't qualify for they're just poor credits. They don't screen them. And we are just chasing our tail all the time. And just wondering, why are we spending this money to call people full-time with no results? That's what my frustration is with dental implant marketing, for the most part.
Yeah, so that's what you went through with the other companies. And it sounds like you went through that process multiple times, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to mention specific brand names. I don't want to talk negatively about anyone in particular, but I mean, were some of these people even big brand names in the industry? Like they were pretty well known and they still didn't deliver for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've tried multiples, and another company even have their own, so they'll say, okay, we'll run the ads. The lead's going to come to our staff, and they'll call the patient for us and qualify the leads for us.
Oh, and they had a call center, and it still didn't work.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
$7,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
And still, we were going nowhere.
Got it. So that was before you heard about us, right? Around that 120, 150 per month mark, getting burned by a lot of other marketing companies. And then, how did you hear about us? If I'm not mistaken, I believe you were a customer of Teeth Tomorrow for your full arch dental implants. And I believe it was Richard Stone, the CEO of Teeth Tomorrow, who first reached out to me. Him and I had a conversation, about an hour-long phone call. We had a very in-depth conversation. Yeah. And then I believe he gave us a shot with you as an introduction, because we wanted to earn his trust and he wanted to know that we were a reliable provider. Is that how we were introduced to each other? Is that correct?
So I work very, very closely with Teeth Tomorrow, especially Richard Stone. He and I just click, and
Smart guy. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
We talk about dentistry as if we're just like talking about for fun. That's what we do.
Yep.
And we were talking in the wee hours and all that. So he has been helping me actually vet marketing companies. And Keanu, you know, he told you last time we spoke, he felt really bad that he's led me into some marketing companies that achieved nothing.
Got it.
And so he was determined. I mean, he's a determined man.
Yeah.
He was doing research. He happened to found you on the website, was poring over all your videos, right?
Yep.
And he saw why people would be sucked in. I think that's the word, sucked in.
Yeah.
Into what your messaging was. So he was like, you really need to give Keanu a call. So my whole thing is I'm willing to try anything, right? Yeah. You never tried it, you don't know whether if it works.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Wait, let's talk about the first phone call we had, because I remember the first phone call we had, you were very skeptical. And you know what? That's not me saying anything negative about you. You had every right to be skeptical because it didn't work in the past for you with other companies. But you were optimistic still. You were still willing to listen to me. I appreciate that. How'd that conversation go? I mean, what were your thoughts going in the back of your mind while you were talking to me on that first call?
No, it all made a lot of sense. Trying to gain trust from the get-go, because I got to tell you, all the potential patient that you sent my way, they are kind of pre-sold already before they even step in. Yeah. So when they step in, it was really meant to figure out, am I representing myself genuinely? So they're really there to see, okay, is this guy BSing everything that, you know, the videos that you made for me? So they come in, they look at my practice, they look at my technology, and they see how we present, and I give them all the time that they need. And my conclusion was they're kind of pre-sold before they come in. So you have that magic of doing that with patients that are ready. And we can find them and they come in almost pre-sold. Yeah. And I think that's really what we needed, because we needed our message to be in front of people who are ready to buy. Yeah. And when they're ready, they see how we present, how we operate. It just builds trust for you know more than me. It's all psychology. Yeah. And they just build trust really quickly. And I'm amazed. I mean, I think even before I met you, I know that if I have people that are ready to go and they see what we have to offer, 8 to 9 times out of 10, they say yes from that first visit. And that's usually how it goes.
And you have relatively fair rates. You're very experienced. And then to give you some credit, I mean, you're a good closer as well. You're a very good communicator. So you had that going for you to begin with, but it just sounded like the other companies that you're working with, they weren't generating either enough leads. If they were, the messaging in front of them, it wasn't filtering them out. And there was no way of knowing who was quality, who wasn't quality. And it wasn't pre-framing them for the in-practice experience for that consultation. So, you know, we've talked about, you know, how our leads were higher quality, how they seem to be pre-framed. But the big thing that people really care about when it comes down to it is the math, right? At the end of the day, all of these dentists who work with us, they're going in with a financial expectation. Hey, I'm at $150,000 per month right now. I want to put in X amount of dollars of ad spend with you guys. And, you know, I want to see a return. I want to see my math multiply. So let's talk about that. So on your 30-day free trial, and this was a big thing for you. I remember when I was on the call with you for the first call, I made it pretty easy for you to say yes to me. I gave you a 30-day free trial. I was like, look, man, cover the cost of the ad spend. I don't even need you to sign a contract. I think I even told you, if I suck, go ahead and fire me. And I get it. It's because I empathize with you. Like if I were in your shoes and I've been burned in the past, the last thing I want to hear in a sales call and roll my eyes is, oh, I have to sign a 3-month contract and wait. It's disgusting to me, right? So I gave you a free trial. and you spent about $2,200 on the ad spend. All of that went to Facebook. We didn't take any of that home for profit in the first 30 days. And what were the results from that $2,200 of ad spend?
I think it's close to 120 grand. Now that I, thinking about what has gone through, I think 60 to 70 we have already seen. There's a patient that he's going through some surgery before he's ready to do the upper and lower arch. So he told us to give him at least a couple of months before he could come back. So, but we already probably did about around 60 already out of the 120 that you found us. Okay.
Yeah. So we generated 120 leads total.
$120,000 worth.
Oh, sorry, $120,000 worth. I got it. And you've collected, you said 60,000. Amazing. And that's off of $2,200 of ad spend. So for every dollar we put into the advertising, you generated more than $50 of revenue. Is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. And you'd never seen that before, right?
No, and I've done a lot of marketing from print to digital to radio, and everyone seems to tell me first 3 months it's a throwaway money. Yeah. Because you really need to generate the momentum. But for me it doesn't make any sense. But with you guys from the get-go, it was like
just leads, sales, getting the people in. Yeah. And then one last thing. So before taking this call, you and I were chatting. You actually had a pretty big day yesterday, right? So clearly you've upped your marketing budget recently. You've become a paying client of ours. Thank you for that. We've given you a pretty huge radius of exclusivity. You have a good amount of people to yourself now. You're protected. Anyone watching this who might be near Dr. Ang, sorry, we're loyal to him. And, you had a great day yesterday. Can you talk about that? How'd that go?
Yeah, we had 2 new patients that came in through value-driven ads, and we have close to $100,000 of basically they're like, we're doing it
in a day. That is amazing. That is amazing. And I am just so happy for you, man, because I know what it can be like to be in a position in the business because my co-founder, she's a dentist, right? She owned a regular dental practice before opening the implant center in Miami. And she would describe to me over and over what it would be like to be a general dentist, be dealing with the crowns, the fillings, the root canals, the amalgam, whatever it is. And it's just like, why can't I make more impact on people and get these full arch cases in my practice? And I'm so glad to be helping you build the practice of your dreams. So how has this impacted, your personal life so far? Obviously, we're early into our relationship. We're like a month and a half into working together. But how has this impacted your personal life so far and the business so far? Like, how are things feeling for you?
Oh, I mean, things are feeling great because I see the amount of leads coming in, and like the way you qualify the leads. It's very easy to see whether if this patient is ready to go or not.
Yeah.
And we prioritize ourselves calling all these leads because let's face it, we're trying to get the most efficient out of everything that we do, and time is of the essence, and we just have to prioritize, and so far it's been really successful.
Awesome.
And really exciting. Yeah,
I'm so happy for you. And actually, can you talk a little bit about that? Just 3 more minutes for the interview. Can you talk about the importance of calling the leads? Because we've had some clients in the past get started in the free trial, we kill it for them, and then they're super lackadaisical calling and nurturing these leads. That was something that you guys were very on top of from day one. You got the leads, you saw the pre-qualification information, you saw the financial information they gave us, and you were calling them consistently. And that's a huge reason why you got such a large return. You were on top of it. Can you tell the audience that's watching this, what they should expect going into this? I mean, I think in my opinion, they should be exactly like you, on top of it, super organized, constantly calling the leads. What do you have to say about that?
So kudos to my team. I mean, I had a hard time looking, everyone post-COVID had a hard time looking for team members. And I finally found an office manager that I could rely on and was motivated calling. But, I'm also a very hands-on person. So that lead that came in, so I told you yesterday we had that big day. One of the patients that came in was a lead that I called personally. It came in at night. I saw the lead.
You mean even though you're a doctor and you have the prestigious title of implant surgeon, you called the lead
I called
yourself.
The lead. The reason why I called the lead was this. She put down there in pain. So she made the appointment for the following week, and I called her immediately after the lead came in, and that's around 8 o'clock my time. And you would think some people would not pick up, but these people are searching. And when I called, she was surprised that I called, number one. and I told her the reason why I called. I said, "You are in pain. You should not be seen next week. I want to see you tomorrow." And can you imagine the impact that it has on this potential patient?
Yeah.
And she came in immediately. We presented. We actually took time. We took her CBCT, and I took the time to show her every single tooth that's problematic, what the issue is, why we need to do this, and whether if we can do this or not. Because her whole question was, I have a lot of bone loss. Can I still have implants? I said, yep, you still can have implants. Why? I'm going to show you why. I took time, and at the end of the appointment, she came with her significant other. They thanked me right there. I said, we've never gone to a consult where it is so thorough that we know before we even go in that we knew you could do it. And you showed us the evidence why you could do it. So it is very key, you need to strike the iron when it's hot, because if not, these people just move on. They just move on. So you spend money and they move on, right?
Yep.
So you need to have a team ready to do all these calls. I mean, I do them personally. I just like the personal touch. Most dentists might not, but that's just me. That's how I roll. So I take the time to listen to them, and sometimes I just have very good connection with the patient, and they just say yes to me. That's my story.
It's smart. It's because it's a great first impression. They meet you in person. They're like, "Wow, you're the guy who called me at 8 p.m." And then you go through the whole process, and they're just blown away. Like, clearly, you're a professional. Yeah. You really care about this. You have your stuff together. That's amazing. And one last, closing final thoughts here. What would you tell a dentist who's watching this right now? They're on the fence. For anyone who's watching this, as long as your area, isn't already taken by a current client of ours, we do offer geographical exclusivity to all of our clients who are paying us. That's really important you understand that. But for anyone who's watching this, who's in a market where the area is open, you're more than entitled to reach out to us and ask for a 30-day free trial. So Dr. Eng, what would you tell the person who's watching this right now? Would you tell them to give us a shot? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, if you're jaded and you think marketing doesn't work, you just need to find the right person. And Keanu is one of those persons that I've worked with so many marketing companies, and they can tell me whatever they want to tell me. And I think the proof is in the pudding, right?
Exactly.
I mean, he just tells me, okay, you're gonna give me a try, and we'll see what happens. And I'm skeptical in the beginning, obviously. But Keanu has been able to give me the results that I could not even begin to dream about, because I've spent so much money and lost so much money in marketing that I'm just like, all right, it's just another one. I'll just move on, right? It's $2,000. Okay, that's fine. But it has been the best $2,000 that I've spent so far in marketing, period. After so many years of doing it, and I've done everything that is in the book, in the horizon, everything. So, highly recommend this. It's incredible.
Thank you so much. Those kind words mean a lot to me. So thank you for the interview so far. For those of you who are watching, give us a shot, click the link down below and claim a 30-day free trial with us. We won't bite. We're not going to ask you to sign a long-term contract right out the gate. Just fill out the form. We'll see if your area is open. And hopefully, 30, 45 days from now, after you start your free trial, you will have a similar success story, just like Dr. Eng. All right. Thank you so much for the interview today, Dr. Eng.
No problem.
All right. Bye.